यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जन यामुनतिरावनचारि यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यामुनतिरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Shri Nam Sankirtan ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Diraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. So we're reading from Canto 4, Chapter 30, chapter entitled The Activities of Prachatas, Shloka number 17. Divya Varsha Sahasranam Sahasram Ahataujasaha Bauman Bokshayat Bokshayata Bhogan Vai Divyams Chanugrahan Mama Divya Varsha Sahasranam Sahasram Mahutau Bauman Bokshayata Bhogan Vai Divyans Chanugrahan Mama Divya Varsha Sahasranam Sahasram Ahataujasaha Bauman Bokshayata Bhogan Vai Divyams Chanugrahan Mama Divya Varsha Sahasranam Sahasram Mahataujasaha Bauman Bokshayata Bhogan Vai Divyans Chanugrahan Mama Divya Varsha Sahasranam Sahasram Mahataujasaha Bhavan Bokshayata Bhogan Vai Divyans Chanugrahan Mama Divya Varsha Sahasranam Sahasram Mahataujasaha Bauman Bokshayata Bhogan Vai Divyans Chanugrahan Mama. Okay, word to word meaning. Divya, of the heavenly planets. Varsha, years. Sahasranam, of thousands. Sahasram, 1,000. Ahata, without being defeated. Ojasaha, your power. Bauman, of this world. Bokshayata, you will enjoy. Bhogan, enjoyments. Vai, certainly. Divyan, of the heavenly world. Cha, also. Anugrahat, by mercy. Mama, my. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Lord then blessed all the prachatas, saying, My dear princess, by my mercy you can enjoy all the facilities of this world as well as the heavenly world. Indeed, you can enjoy all of them without hindrance and with full strength for 1,000,000 celestial years. Purport. The duration of life prescribed for the prachatas by the Supreme Personality of Godhead is calculated by the time measurement of higher planetary systems. Our 6 Earth months are said to be equal to 12 hours in the higher planetary system. 30 days equal 1 month and 12 months equal to 1 year. In this way, for 1,000,000 years, according to the calculation of the higher planetary system, the prachatas were allowed to enjoy all kinds of material facilities. Although this lifespan was so long, the prachatas were given full bodily strength by the grace of the Lord. In the material world, if one wants to live for many years, he must endure the difficulties of old age, invalidity, and many other miserable conditions. The prachatas, however, were given full bodily strength to enjoy material facilities. This special facility was given to prachatas so that they could continue rendering full devotional service. This will be explained in the following verse. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guraho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I was just, I wrongly thought today's sloka was 15th. Anyways, there is, I was just speaking to one devotee just before coming to the class. He is a brahmachari in some farm project, and he gave me a shocking news. His authority asked him to get married. So then I asked him, like, why? Why is it so? Because they're trying to do some, develop some farm activities, and then it is required that these farm activities actually work based on the married, couples. They have to, the families have to actually grow. The whole this one. It is not about few people doing everything. It's each family owning certain tract of land and cows, and everybody support each other. That's how the farm actually runs. So the major problem that they were facing is all the people who are coming into the farm or even trying to enter into, so they are all from either working background or people who are already saved some Lakshmi, and in the old age they have become full time, so they don't have bodily strength to work. So now the authorities have decided, so the energetic brahmachari will get married. And I was very disturbed hearing this, and I just for preparing for the class, I just opened the sloka, 15th sloka, and it was written, since all of you are very much obedient to my orders, I ask you to immediately immediately marry that girl who is well qualified with beauty and good qualities. According to the order of your father, create progeny through her. So, and I read this, Krishna actually solved the problem in the mind. So, it was very nice, this one. And this devotee also was, he was there in the farm working since a few years now. And now I asked him, how are you feeling? I'm going to do something for my spiritual master's instruction, to fulfill my spiritual master's instruction, and my authorities want this thing to happen, so I am ready to do that. I am not able to, initially I was not able to digest, it is something which I never thought of in my life. So, but then, this is the order. This is the mission that is there, to create this kind of people. So the people are not ready to give up their jobs and jump into without any savings, fully dependent on the nature and the Lord. So they are not able to do that. So we have to set an example. So that's the mission that is given. So just to set an example, so he's going to be like that. So it is very inspiring, It is not that, sometimes sacrifice, we do sacrifice which we like, So, but here we see that a person is ready to do a sacrifice which he doesn't like actually. So it is not in his nature, or it is not, it is not conducive to him, or it is not something what he has meditated upon. And that has been told, and this is what is required, so for the mission, and then he is ready to do. So this is called missionary. Missionary means it is not that I like this, I want this, when it comes he is not a missionary. So missionary means mission wants this, and we have to do it. So then he becomes a missionary actually. So I was very happy to talk to him today morning. So anyways, so coming back to today's discussion, so here we see that in the previous sloka, there is something that is mentioned. A girl is generally not advised to marry multiple husbands. So that is not the Vedic culture. But in exceptional cases it happens. Like Draupadi was there, and then here this girl, what is Maricha, right? Yeah. So like, no, she is also asked to marry the Prachatas, like, no, 10 of them. So here and then in this today's shloka also something in resemblance to that, which I was just contemplating about. So if we want to do certain service, no, and that service, like we have to have the dependence on the Lord, and the Lord can empower a living entity to do anything and everything. So it is not that I cannot do it. So if somebody, again, this is again not a, what is that? It's not a, this one of a missionary, or it's not a version of a person who's dependent. So he will say, okay, maybe I'll not be able to do it, but then, no, I have faith in the Lord. So I'll offer prayers to the Lord, and if Lord empowers me, no, I can do it. So here we see that, like this particular aspect of this is uncommon, it is not possible, but then like Prabhupada says that no, Lord personally blesses this girl to handle this particular case, right? So he specifically blesses. So if Lord blesses, it can happen. So now when it happens, like if a particular thing has to be done and I don't have the capacity, so I can say, okay, I don't have the capacity. But if the Lord says, or the spiritual master says, no, or it comes from a bona fide authority, so then, no, when we say like I cannot do it, so then it is not right actually. No, when with the instruction comes the empowerment, and by the blessings of the Lord, no, we can do anything. No, so pangum langayate girim and things like that. So even a lame man can cross the mountains and things like that. So it is very essential here. No, the Prachatas agreed. No, they didn't say like, no, well, Lord, like, no, what kind of a proposal you are giving? We 10 of us are there and you are giving one girl to marry. They also did not ask, and even the girl did not ask. So both of them were like, okay, like if this is the wish of the Lord, so we will do it. And like whatever is needed, that will be gifted by the Lord. So one thing, which I was just contemplating, when we are chanting, or when we are taking darshan of the Lord, or doing some devotional activities, sometimes our plans actually overpower. We have thought about some service or something like that, it actually overpowers. I was just analyzing, this Brahma also had a major task to perform, whole universe to get created. And these Prachatas also, like, and their father Prachini Barihi, so all of them, they were Prajapatis, and they had a huge task to perform. They have to fill the whole universe with population. So much huge task is there. So if such is this one, like, immediately our Kali Yuga people will ask, okay, whole universe to be populated, and everything is empty, and now, immediately next task, let us go about producing children. So that's what immediately it comes. And these people were having such a major task in hand, they were able to focus on their meditation, and they were able to take blessings of the Lord, and then know how much is been ordered for them. They were able to do that. So it is a very important aspect. We have a major task to perform in hand, the order of the spiritual master to be executed. So, but in spite of that, we have to be absorbed. So, what is the reason, for this particular thing, is that in Kali Yuga, what happened, or Kali Yuga, like even the neophytes, what they actually think is, a task is given and I have to execute it. So that is a major problem. So Bhakti Yoga means what? A task is given, so that means a service is given to me, so I am very fortunate. So that is like to understand that it is a service given to me. And second aspect is, to execute that, I have to be dependent on the Lord and the Guru and Krishna again. So neophyte will think, okay, service is given, now I will do it. And a seasoned devotee will think, a service is given and I'll depend on the mercy of Guru and Krishna for the strength, for the intelligence, for everything that is needed to execute the service. It actually comes from them. I will depend on them. And then result, itna kuch kiya, result aana chahiye. So result also what he is thinking, whatever the Lord's wish, so he may make me a success or a failure. That is okay. Whatever the Lord's wish, whatever he gives, I am happy with that. So in this way, this is actually Bhakti Yoga. And when we lose the dependence on the Lord while execution, or when we lose the dependence on the Lord, in anticipation of the result. So both of these are not Bhakti Yoga. It will turn into some other yoga. We are just we are getting a service, but for the service, when we are executing, we should understand, I am able to execute no, through my intelligence, through my bodily power and everything, it is simply because of mercy of Guru and Krishna. And result something comes, it is simply because of Guru and Krishna. And who is to be glorified for that? Because like he gave the order, he gave the strength to execute, and he gave the result. Who might take the glory? It is he, it is the Lord, and no, Guru and Krishna was supposed to be glorified, right? So in that way, when we say all glories to Srila Prabhupada, we will really be able to say that. Otherwise we'll think, Prabhupada gave the master plan. Who thought this idea? Who put the endeavor? Who created all these things? It is me, no. But still, it is a ritual. We have to tell all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we are telling, So it will become like that. So when we don't depend on the Lord, when we don't depend on the Lord and Guru and Krishna, so then our bliss in Krishna consciousness will go off. The bliss in Krishna consciousness is to see how the things actually flow, how the mercy actually flows from the spiritual master. So that can be seen only when we depend on the spiritual master for execution of things, and for the results, everything, at every step, the dependence on the Lord is very, very essential. So in this regard, I always quote this pastime of Samudra Manthan. So where Lord gives an instruction, there is a problem, the solution Lord gives. And then, these people are very, this one, now we got the solution, we'll execute. First step failed. And then the Lord comes to save. And then, okay, fine. Second step, no, usme fail. Then Lord comes to save. And then at every step, from the beginning till the end, finally Lord brings the nectar. And that is a result. Usko bhi samal nahi paya. Demons took it over. And again the Lord comes and brings back the nectar. So from the beginning till the end, everywhere the hand of the Lord is there. The moment I think, I can do it. Now, first of all, the Lord, what is that? Without the instruction of the Lord, I make some plan. Without instruction of Guru and Krishna, I make some plan for my own. It will be frustrating. Okay, I got the plan from Guru and Krishna, a bona fide service, and then I think that I can execute. Again, frustration. So, okay, I depend on the Lord. Lord gave the service, and I depend on the Lord for execution, but I want result for sure. Then also frustration. The service has to be given by the Lord. I cannot concoct. And to execute the service, I have to depend on the Lord. I cannot be proud that I can execute. And then result, whatever he wishes, he will give. Then the devotee can be happy. Otherwise he'll be frustrated. Kidhar na kidhar atkega, he'll be frustrated thoroughly. So it is this is something very essential. Right? So now when we do all these things, then when we chant, we will be able to hear the names properly. Why? Because if any plan comes, we say Lord, thank you, Lord, you have given nice plan. At least to say thanks, we'll remember the Lord. Otherwise we'll think, I got an amazing plan. God goes, Krishna goes out of picture. And then, okay, Krishna, you gave me a nice plan. Now you go by the side, I will execute and show. Then also Krishna goes by the side. So now Krishna gave an idea, and I'm saying, you gave an idea, but I don't know how will I execute. I'm simply dependent on your mercy. Again, Krishna comes back into picture. And then result, you're too much oriented on result, then also Krishna goes out of picture. So whatever Krishna gives, I'm happy with it. So then Krishna comes into picture. So that is how a devotee, I was always I used to think that Maha Manusmara Yuddhacha. How is it possible, Maha Manusmara Yuddhacha? I am fighting. Arjuna is fighting. How can he think of Krishna? So it is because he's taking the arrow, he's thinking, oh, this is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. This is Krishna's energy. In the front, my enemies are there, are also Krishna's energy. I am shooting and this is Krishna's instruction. Everywhere he is able to think of Krishna, because that is what he is able to see, only Krishna, right? So that is why this is an amazing, this one, when we actually depend on the Lord in every aspect, then we will be able to remember him. The moment we think that we can do something, Krishna goes out of picture actually. So this is one nice thing. And then another aspect here, when I was reading, seeing that it is mentioned, Bhokshayata Bhogan vai. Bhokshayata Bhogan means अच्छे से भोग करो. Thousands of years भोग विलास में रहो, अच्छे से. And no, like devotees who know the meaning between bhoga and prasad, they'll say like, "Arey, like no offering bhi karna nahi chahiye." Like Bhagwan ne bola bhog karo. There's no need of offering. And then last line Prabhupada says, this special facility was given to Prachatas so that they could continue rendering full devotional service. Arey, like, this will be explained in the following verse. So in Vedic sense, there is no question of enjoying without offering. That is like out of picture. So this is like they're not demons. No demons they enjoy without offering. And the normal civilized people, they enjoy after offering only. Like they don't enjoy something which is not offered. So like legal marriage, and then legally as it is instructed in the scriptures, they enjoy the opposite sex, and it is not like what is that Avedic Strisang, that is not there. And like anything they want to enjoy, so they will enjoy only based on the instructions of the Vedic scriptures. So that is the common people. And here Prachatas, they are able to see Supreme Lord face to face. How will they do bhoga? It is not possible actually. So this is to mean that devotee go like, it is mentioned like, I'm allowing you to enjoy. He will understand in a proper way. He will not think that I'll enjoy whatever way I want. Supreme Lord told, I'll enjoy whatever way I want. So it is not like that. So they will never do that. They will never break the regulative principles, at any cost. Right? So even if they happen to break by accident, they will always feel repentant. They'll always feel bad that they happen to do so. Right? So it is something very important to understand. So the duration of life, here it is mentioned, it is a very, very large duration of life. And then Prabhupada says like again, they have, or Krishna himself says that they are given an unlimited strength to enjoy all these things unlimitedly. So again, this is like Prabhupada writes in general, anybody lives for long years, they'll get into diseases and miserable condition and things like that. So sometimes these days like people change their blessings. अच्छे से थोड़ा साल जियो उसके बाद मर जाओ. Like otherwise don't linger around in the bed and like give trouble to others and things like that. So but then here we see that again it is a blessings of the Lord. If the Lord decides that you can live for a long period of time and you can be healthy, and you can be healthy. So this is like one difference. Now when people read all these things, then immediately they come to the point, see, Lord can give. No. Why is he not giving? I'm praying so much. Still he is not giving. Rakke nahi dete. It is something like that. So these people are able to get. So one important formula here is that those who don't want, they'll be given material facility. And those who want, they'll not be given. It looks to be an irony actually. So when I was explaining this shloka, Chinta Mani Prakarachatma Sukalpa Vriksha, that this particular shloka, and one devotee was telling, Prabhu, here so much of need is there for money, and Krishna is keeping Chintamani there, and nobody is interested in that. And he's thoroughly training them here, and then he makes them Akinchana, who's not attached to anything else apart from Krishna, and they are put in the spiritual world and they are given Chintamani. What is the use of giving Chintamani there? People have Chinta for money here and it should be given here. It is. I think Krishna has made some mistake in the design. तो कुछ तो गड़बड़ हो गया. जिधर need is there, their supply is not there. Their need is not there, that oversupply is there. So I think it requires a little MBA. Some intelligent MBA should advise Krishna where to keep the resources properly. But the thing is that in the material world, like they want to exploit the material nature. So Krishna retracts. Like Mother Earth also, like she tells to Prithu Maharaj that why she is not producing things. People are in need. People are suffering from drought and like what is that? They are not able to have sufficient food and they are suffering like anything. And Mother Earth is not producing. And like Prithu Maharaj is like threatening Mother Earth. People are suffering. Are you not able to see? And you have Brahma has given you all the seeds for all the herbs and trees and everything. And why are you not producing? It is like very, very bad. Prithu Maharaj actually threatens her like anything. Then Mother Earth says like, see, people are trying to exploit. When they try to exploit, I'll retract. When they try to render service to Krishna, I'll give. No, it's a very clear principle. No, very, very important principle. So it is not about like people are suffering, so which should be provided. No, it's not like that. You know, people become like God conscious, then abundance of no, this one will be there. So when exploitation stops, then there will be abundance. So till the time there is exploitation for sense gratification, so then there will be always scarcity. No, like we can appeal, like this was a very, very, very nice appeal, like that everybody are suffering. No, why are you not producing? So it is a very nice appeal. No, and the modern day philanthropy, like it'll sound very nice actually. This is a very important appeal, and we ask them to perform devotional service and things like that. No, we have to spread God consciousness. They would say, "Arey, like people are suffering and starving. Like first of all, we have to provide for them." And we have to do philanthropic work, and God consciousness can wait. So the root cause of this thing is understood. So then people will properly do devotional service, and they can take up to Krishna consciousness. So this aspect of what is that? The Lord can empower any living entity to do any special task, and then attachment to the results. No, is the cause of all, like attachment to various things I was mentioning, concoction of our own plans, and then concoction of our own ways of executing, and then attachment to the result. So all these three are short source of like frustration, and we depend on the Lord for what I have to do, and we depend on the Lord for executing, and we depend on the Lord for the results of whatever the results come. It is Daiva Labdena Santosha, like by the mercy of the Lord, whatever comes. A devotee is very happy with those things. Right, so these are some of the basic aspects to start happily practicing Krishna consciousness. So basic foundational principles to start happily practicing Krishna consciousness. And today is this one, appearance of Radha Kund and Sham Kund, and so it's like, so appearance of Radha Kund and Snan Dana, it is mentioned. So basically this this particular tract of, or this particular entity, the Radha Kund, is supposed to be the highest dham or highest place of pilgrimage for all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And this is because it is in connection with Srimati Radharani, and also it is the liquid form of Srimati Radharani. So one devotee, like in the beginning days of my Krishna consciousness, he was just explaining this particular aspect. So if we have to understand who are these dear devotees of Krishna, like who are appearing as simple cowherd women. So he was mentioning that if you are told that some guest will come to your home, and then they say that they call and say you that no, today we are not able to come, tomorrow we will come. And then you made all the arrangements, you prepared like nice feast, and then you what is that, you personally strung the garlands to receive them and things like that. So, and then we say that okay, fine, so much of arrangement I did, but okay, fine, tomorrow you are coming, so you are quite a senior devotee, so yeah, I'm okay, I'll wait for tomorrow. And tomorrow also the same thing happens, and day after tomorrow also same thing happens, and every day the invitation gets extended, saying that tomorrow I'll come and things like that. And still it is, nobody will have enthusiasm to prepare feast every day and make garland every day, and then anticipate that guest to come. How much our big guest he is, if Prime Minister भी है no अरे नहीं आ रहा तो नहीं आ रहा करके बता दो क्यों ऐसा हर दिन ऐसा बोल रहे कि कल आऊंगा so frustrated, okay, they will say कि enough is enough, I'll no more anticipate or no more have any this one. But here, these devotees of Krishna, so Krishna is not even telling that, tomorrow I'll come. Krishna has told no, I'll come very soon, that's all. So, and he has gone out of Vrindavan. And then these devotees, every day, they anticipate, what if Krishna comes today? It is not that Krishna told today I'll come. So it is not that they are parked to somebody outside saying that agar kuch, if you are able to see some scope of Krishna coming, then tell, then we will prepare everything. Otherwise, unnecessarily, our labor is getting wasted, our time is getting wasted, we will do something else. So it is not like that. So they are, every single day they anticipate the Lord would come, and every single day they actually prepare everything nicely, and every single day they actually they're all ready, like if Krishna comes at this moment, they're perfectly ready to invite. So this is something that is very nice, that to actually understand that how the mood of these devotees of Vrindavan actually. So this is the mood, and like now we were seeing in today's discussion that how we are stuck in making our own concocted plans, and like how we are stuck depending on our own strength to execute our services, and how we are stuck too much attached to the results. So, and here it's complete contrast, the devotees of the Lord and the residents of Vrindavan, they are completely in contrast. They are completely dependent on the Lord's plan, and every moment the Lord changes and there is no questions asked. They just simply follow whatever the Lord's plan is. And to execute the service, they always depend on the Lord. And then the result for 100 years also, if you don't give result, every day they are asked to do, and 100 years also there is no result, still they are enthusiastic. They maintain their enthusiasm to render service. So like Krishna did not go to Vrindavan for many years, and they didn't diminish their enthusiasm in service, but it only intensified their service. They only became more intense in their practice of Krishna consciousness. It's not practice their perfection of Krishna consciousness. So their perfection was getting more perfect. That is the thing that was happening there. So now we can actually on this day, we can pray to the Lord, and we can pray to Srimati Radharani. And actually, many times we say that it is by the blessings of the Lord, or by the mercy of the Lord, we get the remembrance of the Lord. So on these special occasions, we can go to little deeper aspect of philosophy. So the Lord becomes pleased, and the remembrance of the Lord and the spiritual blessings or the spiritual nourishment is given by Srimati Radharani. So we, in general, we say that Krishna becomes pleased, then Krishna awards devotional service, or Krishna awards the remembrance of the Lord. Krishna awards all these things. We tell like this. So, but actually, in in granular detail, if we see, Krishna only becomes pleased. The rest, everything is done by Srimati Radharani. So she nourishes the living entity by giving the remembrance. She nourishes the living entity by engaging them in the service. She does all these aspects. And Krishna is the one who is just enjoyer. Who just enjoys. So he just and he receives the service and he becomes pleased. And all the background is done by this one, especially for the devotees who are really struggling to have real absorption in the practice of Krishna consciousness. It is Srimati Radharani who actually awards that absorption and meditation and remembrance of the Lord. So that is the internal understanding. So generally, when we present, we don't get to so much detail. So because why it is very important. In the this one Harinam Chintamani session, we were discussing that when we approach Krishna, so there are many entities who are very dear to Krishna, and if we offend those entities, so then our bhakti, progress in bhakti becomes hampered. So we mistreat some material elements, little bit of hamper happens. We mistreat some spiritual elements which are basic in nature, so the hampering of bhakti is little more. And then we mistreat very advanced Vaishnavas. Our hampering is more more hampering actually happens. And if we happens to offend or mistreat or not properly treat the residents of Vrindavan or Srimati Radharani, then Krishna is enough, I'll just give a kick to you, you'll go far off. Like that. So it is very important that we should know how to take the heat of the fire. So if we go very close to the fire, we'll get burnt. And if we go very far from the fire, we will not get the heat. And we are expected to become fire and enter the fire. That's this one. So till the time we become fire, we should know how to actually go, proceed towards, proceed towards the fire. So becoming fire means when we are able to awaken our knowledge, and then when we are able to see things in spiritual perspective, and we awaken our mood of service very nicely, so then we get closer to the dear entities of Krishna. So we will be able to treat them properly, and we will be able to do proper Vaishnava etiquette properly. So when we do that, so then we are able to go closer to them and then please Krishna. Otherwise, no, we maintain a safe distance and please Krishna. That is good. As our awakening of knowledge happens, as that much we should go closer. So that is a very important aspect actually. This is the philosophical understanding, and that's why all acharyas they all for common people and for practicing devotees, they always give things that are very essential to be practiced. So always we should evaluate ourselves that where we are, and for offering prayers we can always approach. So we can always approach Srimati Radharani, we can always approach all the spiritual personalities, but when we are going a little more than that, then we have to be really very careful. So as much as we have adhikar, that much we can actually engage in the devotional service. So we have to develop these aspects, like the basic aspects, which at least I'm struggling with these basic aspects of taking only the plans of the Lord, taking only the instruction of the spiritual master and Krishna and the authorities, and not concocting my own plans. It's a big austerity. So, and then depending on them to execute these instructions, and not thinking that I will make this ones, and then depending on them to get the results, and in this way executing the missionary activities and at the same time being absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. So this when we perfect this, then we can go to the next level and next level and next level. So we have to go in this way upwards in the progress of Krishna consciousness. So I just pause here. Any questions or comments you can take up?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the very nice class. Can I, before sharing the points which I have taken away, I would like to clarify a doubt which I have. So in the beginning of the session, you mentioned the case, how he was practicing the brahmacharya, and then the mission needed a particular change of ashram, and he's very flexible to do that. So I'm just trying to understand that we also see in the Srimad, even before I quote any reference, in the previous verse number 8 of this chapter, Srila Prabhupada says that there cannot be two opinions in Krishna consciousness, because the opinion is only to please Krishna. And then in the purport he says, still if there are some differences, then the difference should be considered to be spiritual. That's what he states. So in the light of that statement of Srila Prabhupada, when I look at the situation where the spiritual master of 4 Kumaras, also the father as well as spiritual master, he ordered them to get married, so they denied. That time also the mission was to create progeny, but they denied to take over that mission. But then that difference was considered spiritual, and we sometimes glorify that activity also. Even in the case of Bhishma Pitama, his brothers were dead, all the sons or the heirs to the throne were dead, and Satyavati, the queen, she was ordering Bhishma that you get married. But he was not agreeing. That time also the mission was to save Hastinapur. So how to understand the statement? There we can see some instances where the mission demanded something, but the individuals chose to do something else, and that is also okay and glorified. And when it is not, so how to understand this?
So one amazing thing to see in all these this ones is that all of these are very elevated devotees, and all of them, it is they are looking for Krishna's message, looking for Krishna's direction, and devotees at that level, they would not be simply doing things for means. Definitely Bhishma, they would have not done something just to protect his ego or something like that. And if that is the case, Krishna would not break his vow, to go in front of him, lifting a weapon. And the 4 Kumaras are very, very highly advanced and liberated souls, and they cannot be definitely they cannot be having an opinion and then which is different from their authority and things like that. So it is definitely a Krishna's message. Definitely a Krishna's message. So one thing, Krishna's direction that they are able to have actually. So without the angle of Krishna, it is quite difficult to explain this particular this one. Otherwise, it would happen that we have to explain them within the 3 modes of nature. Because they had this particular inclination and they were attached to it and they wanted to do it. So here we see that like Krishna was giving the direction personally. So that is the thing that we can actually take. That if such a situation is posed in front of me, what should I do? So like I should just pray to Krishna and like no whatever direction and indication Krishna gives. So that is what I'm supposed to do. So none of these people would have Brahma was affected for some time, but then he also took it, and later on there is nice discussions that is happening, like no four Kumaras are very humbly asking questions to Brahma, and Brahma is answering them and things like that. So that means like no, he also got clarified, okay, this is what is the will of the Lord. Will of the Lord prevails actually. So that's a thing like that. We can actually see sometimes in Priyavrat Maharaj's case, like it's clear two opinions actually. Narad Muni is telling that no, you should not get married, and this one Brahma is telling no, you should, and then finally they take the elders this one, and then they follow. And here also it is there also, like Prabhupada writes in the purports, that it is Krishna's desire that this should happen actually. So it is very important that to understand these personalities are very elevated and beyond the modes of nature, and beyond the modes of nature they are attached to some particular opinion, means they are seeing the hand of Krishna over there. So one nice pastime, one nice description of this one like Prahlad Maharaj ka pastime was when this one Hiranyakashipu is asking, where is your Lord? And he says like general philosophical answer he is giving. Everywhere he is there. And then when he is asking, is he present in this pillar? And then the Lord comes and says, yeah, like I'm there. And Prahlad says, no, he's there. So it is like the normal people are not able to, the Hiranyakashipu is not able to see that the Lord is there. But for Prahlad, it is like Pratyaksha Praman. It is not just Shabda Praman, it is Pratyaksha Praman. He is able to see. Like in the same way, for these personalities, something very solid, the direction actually comes very solid. This is what you should do. And they actually feel the presence of the Lord in that particular execution of activities. So in that way, sometimes they overrule, and sometimes externally seeing, or sometimes they overrule the authority, and sometimes they follow. So but because of their elevation, they are very much connected to the Lord. They are able to do that thing. And later on, it has been corroborated, it has been established that how this is the will of the Lord. And two transcendental personalities had difference of opinion, but then the will of the Lord prevails, and both of them are happy later on. So in that way, does that solve this thing?
So, from what I understood from the answer was that a spiritual difference means both of them have a desire to please Krishna, and Krishna is individually inspiring, like in the case of Narad Muni, Krishna is inspiring Narad Muni to have this stand and Brahmaji to have that stand, and then Priyavrat to finally listen to Brahma. As Paramatma, he's coordinating. That much I understand. And all three are happy at the end of the day. The relationship between a spiritual master and disciple is a very intimate relationship. In fact, in the Mahabharata, it is mentioned that only the devotee and the Lord and the spiritual master and a disciple have a right to sometimes talk back to each other like that. Not talk back, root jana. I don't know what to say. Rootna in English. What do you say? Basically, when Duryodhana, when Dronacharya had ordered, sorry. Yeah, so Mahabharata says only these two have a right to sometimes disagree with each other. The Lord and the devotee, and the spiritual master and the disciple. Their relationship is intimate enough to disagree and not talk to each other for some time. That's what Mahabharata says, giving some references. There have been references in Prabhupada's pastimes, especially in the case of my spiritual master. He was given a service, and that was supposed to be done. But he wrote back to spiritual master that I'm not liking this service. Can I do this service? And Prabhupada said, okay, you can do this service. So, is it okay that if the spiritual master orders us to do something, but we as a disciple go and reveal our heart that, look, this is what I want, is that okay to do? And if the spiritual master permits to do, then will I be considered as a person who did not understand the need of the mission? Or is it okay to go and, in such situations, go and reveal your heart to spiritual master, tell him what you want and let the spiritual master decide? Is that okay?
So here, this is a nice angle of question. So like there are many aspects are there. So one aspect is that the mission is there, and then not everybody are missionary. So like people have in the corporates it is mentioned that when the this one when the leader is able to see the individual aspiration of different people, so he's fulfilling that, and the individuals will have the aspiration or desire to fulfill the greater mission. So that is one aspect is there, and amongst them somebody will be like very determined to execute the mission of execute this one. So who will be like going against all odds, to sacrifice one's own personal this one and things like that. And then sometimes there will be a practical consideration. They are willing to go against all odds, but then there is a practical consideration. Maybe like I can do this better, and then it is submitted to the spiritual master, and the spiritual master agrees upon that particular this one. So there are so many different shades could be there. So, but one very important thing is the freedom of choice evolves when we like gain the knowledge. In the basic level, in the when the ignorance is too heavy, so then like there is exercising the freedom of choice is not that very intelligent. And as the this one intelligent component the knowledge component increases, that means they're able to see, whenever we talk about knowledge component, it is about they're able to see things in connection with Krishna, like see everything in connection with Krishna. So when that increases, then naturally Guru and Krishna gives lot of freedom of execution actually, and then at a particular point like this, where a particular instruction, where there's a great need that is there, so and things like that. So that time, many of the times it is like externals. Just by seeing the externals, we can never judge. No, this is complete surrender or this is not. Actually, this can only show in terms of like if it is a complete surrender, they will relish Krishna consciousness more and more. The Krishna will be pleased, and Krishna will award more and more realization. So that is the only proof that he has offered a complete surrender. So otherwise there is no proof that we can actually show that this is like externally speaking of I just did this, is it okay? So like it is very difficult to judge, because like all sort of permutation and combination is there, like accepting glorious, accepting not glorious, and like not accepting and it's glorious, and not accepting is inglorious. And the final this one is that they made advancement in Krishna consciousness, and they could able to realize Krishna much better. That means what they have done at that point in time is proper, inspired by the Lord. Otherwise they are not, like they have gone by their own choice and things like that. So this hand of the Lord can be seen, like one devotee was explaining, this is possible for a person who has the habit of offering prayers to the Lord. I'm in crossroads, I don't know what to do. Please you inspire me, what I'm supposed to do, and you direct me and instruct me and things like that. So when that this one is there, always that devotee is protected. And then the proof is like the proof that he has executed properly is that he will be able to have some nice blissful Krishna conscious experiences. He'll be able to advance practically in Krishna consciousness. So if I'm doing things right, and then the advancement happens. So this is the result actually that a devotee actually sees. All other tangible results, what is there, so that he is ready to wait upon. So but this result, it actually comes. Like the realization of the Lord, so the advancement in Krishna consciousness actually comes. That is something that is a proof that he is doing things right, and he is able to move forward and progress. Krishna. Any other questions? Yes, please.
Because there is a lot of conflict between when the things are right and wrong. It's very easy to take up the right thing. So when in this case you told that about surrender and everything, so it's actually because it's one's life in choosing the ashram. Individual choices matter, because thinking something he might have chosen this ashram and continuing like this. And when to consider individual choice and when to follow authority.
See, here the case is that this would not be an instruction given to everybody. The boy whom I'm talking about is a very surrendered and very qualified kind of a person. So such people will get very strong instructions and they can follow. So like people who are weak at heart, so for them they require a certain independence and things like that. And another principle is, the general principle is that no tasmad gurum prapadyeta, no, like that is a general principle, and the principle of disagreement is an exception, no, and that has to be kept exception. And because there is a principle of disagreement is there, and no, there is shastric evidence is there, so I have the right to disagree. So when I go with that kind of a mood, definitely I'll offend my spiritual master or my authorities. So I have the right to disagree, no. So it is not that I have to surrender, and there is an exceptional case, no, and in this particular case I feel that no, it should be done in a different way, and then humbly presenting and things like that. So then that way, like it is good actually. Asking questions, no, that is good. And even after that, the spiritual master asserts, saying that no, this is to be done. So then one has to follow that, no, because the prapanna is something that is glorified, and that's something that has been like equivocally, like glorified in the scriptures. And there are exceptions that are presented, no. So when we make exceptions, when exception starts appealing to us, so that means like we are going in the wrong direction, no. So like when the main stuff starts appealing to us, okay, exceptions, as an exception it arises, then it is okay, no. When the exception starts appealing to us, then it becomes a problem. And coming back to your this one, like when to choose, and if it becomes like to this one, always this kind of clarity, lack of clarity is always there in the practical dealings. Practical dealings are very, very difficult, to have a clear right or wrong, because there is so many compositions are there. It's quite difficult to come to this one of right or wrong. If a devotee is having faith on his authorities, so he may just submit and accept the instruction that comes. So that is one thing. And another thing is that, like, having this prayerful attitude, that I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, and willing to listen and willing to let go our own attachment. When I say that, okay, these two things are there and I'm attached to this particular thing, now what I am supposed to do? So if a spiritual master knows that you are very much attached to it, he will right away say like, no, please do that. So like that is the immediate instruction that comes. The choice, the choice, like when we go to an authority and there is a choice that needs to be taken, that comes when I'm equally like, I may have some attraction towards a particular thing, but I'm okay to do any of these two things. Then there is a point in going to an authority. So, but I'm attached and I want this and I want a rubber stamp on this, then there is no point in going to an authority. So I just need to say like, fine, no, I just want to do this thing, that's all. And carry on. So like, there is no point in this one. So when there is this one key, like, yeah, I can, if there is a instruction that comes that, I have to do something which I'm not liking, and my spiritual master may choose that aspect also. So still I'm prepared. So then only I should go to the spiritual master. So that's why one of this one glorification offered to spiritual master, like my Guru Maharaj in Vyas Puja, it was like, why spiritual master doesn't give instructions to the disciple, because what if he doesn't follow? It becomes a big problem. So they are also very cautious in giving the instruction. Now, if there is a difficult instruction given, or if some choice is there and the spiritual master says like, no, you have to do this. So of late I see my Guru Maharaj also asked like, if there is a problem, okay, what do you feel is good, and things like that, and they understand, okay, this person is attached to this. Oh, this is very nice, no, please do it, like that. And if they see that disciple is he is ready to mold and things like that, so then they may give some different things, sometimes they may agree with what you like, and sometimes they may say like, something different also, like that.
The continuation to this question I have is, surrender means and obedience comes like keeping one's own will aside and following the superiors or authorities' will, or whoever is above us. So following their will is kind of symptom of surrender. So in ISKCON currently, because spiritual master is not available to everyone's call and at every time, so this counselor system is prepared and available for us. So
see, this one point I had asked during our IDC, this one I had asked in a different level. I'd asked that we see that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is more surrendered to his Siksha Guru, And his Diksha Guru, he was not that much surrendered to his Diksha Guru, but he was fully surrendered to Siksha Guru. So then the instructor or Atul Krishna Prabhu, Mayapur, like he's the head of Mayapur Institute, like he was mentioning that this particular surrender that is there, it is an individual transaction. It cannot be institutionalized. No, it's an individual transaction. I must offer my complete surrender to somebody, who's fully surrendered to Krishna. I must do that thing. And it cannot be institutionalized because he is my counselor. No, I have to fully surrender. No, it is not like that. I have to choose to surrender myself to somebody. No, I cannot be a hypocrite that, I'll not surrender to anywhere, but then, I'll just say like, okay, this cannot be institutionalized. He is not good. No, he is not good. Finally, whom are you surrendered? No, I am not surrendered to anybody. So that is also a problem. And then institutionalizing, no, you have to surrender, and this is your authority, and you have to surrender to him only. So that is also not very this one. So we have to have a practical working relationship, and we have to see we have to surrender to somebody, and we cannot say that, okay, no, this person, there is so much of this one is there, no, I will not surrender to anybody. That is also this one. Always we should ask to know deep inside our heart, am I surrendering myself, my complete will to somebody, who is fully surrendered to Krishna? If somebody I am surrendering, then it's okay, then it's perfectly okay. For the organizational sake, we may be working in some particular kind of a setup, it is perfectly okay. We will follow to a particular extent how much is the service needs and things like that. So we may follow. But it is very essential to ask to ourselves, whom I am surrendered to. That is very, very essential. It may not be necessary that official, somebody is officially assigned and then I have to surrender. It cannot be legalized, it cannot be demanded, but it is an essential thing. I have to do it to somebody. So that is very essential.
How to select or whom should be completely surrendered to?
Pray to the Lord. Pray to the Lord. That something is your individual choice. You have to do.
Because some kind of insecurities will go after a person goes for a long time in Krishna consciousness.
See, till the time we get too much attached to this one, so we should not be attached to our independence, and we should not the surrender should not be institutionalized also. Both the things are not there. A person who is too much attached to his independence, he will find some flaw in everybody. I cannot surrender to anybody. Like that. So, and institutionalization has its own problems. We cannot institutionalize surrender. That is not possible. That is an individual choice, that a living entity has to choose.
Because every jiva is supposed to surrender to Krishna, Prabhuji. So
He has to surrender to a pure devotee of the Lord, or some devotee of the Lord, who is fully surrendered to a pure devotee of the Lord. So that is needed. And it is not there in my life at the present. So then I have to offer prayers to Krishna, saying, see, I am such a I am such a hypocrite or a independent freak. I don't want to surrender to anyone. I don't want to surrender to anyone at all. I am so much attached to my independence. I don't want to surrender. So, what will be my condition? So it is between the Krishna and the living entity. So Krishna will inspire. Krishna will show the proper direction. It requires a lot of purification before even we come to the point that I have to fully surrender. So the Lord says that, bahunam janmanam ante jnanavam mam prapadyate. To offer complete surrender means it demands a lot of intelligence actually. It demands a lot of advancement in knowledge. To see that it is not possible for me to meddle around, for me to adjust things and things like that in this world and get my job done, and I cannot pave my way back to this spiritual world. I need to surrender to somebody, and I need the blessings of somebody. It is very essential. I need the blessings of everyone, but especially I need to exclusively surrender to at least one person. That's very, very essential.
whatever they say, we'll do.
Yeah, that's very essential actually. That particular thing is the treasure of a devotee, and he is very proud about that particular aspect. So he is servant of so and so. He is very, very proud about that particular aspect. So that is needed. So if it cannot be done to a particular person, it's perfectly okay. But find your person. And to find your person, you have to pray to the Lord, very sincerely. At least to Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master, we should have that kind of surrender. And then practically also we can have few other personalities in our life whom we can actually offer that kind of surrender. So that is very essential in our life. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय.